What it do?
But
I'm glad you finally made it.
it ain't been that long. Only been a few minutes, ain't it? I was waiting for it. I ain't getting no alert, so I just went and checked my messages.
Yeah, that was kind of, yeah. But yeah, it's all good. What been on your mind though, bro?
I mean, I mean, all kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like what was it was a show I had wanted to bring up, and yeah. Like I wouldn't mind doing the show with you to where we talk about our approaches to how we approach um law. I guess I should say.
Sound like a good idea. I guess a good approach. I mean, as important as law is to everyday life. I mean,
Facts, yeah, of course, yeah, law everyday life. But you know how what I was thinking about. You know how when we dealing with court and how I always go about just I'm the beneficiary, but you actually know the procedures. See, I don't know the procedures,
right,
but we both still come out with the same type of similar outcomes.
right.
And so I was wanting to talk about that contrast. Of course, we're gonna bring in there that law is just a part of life. That's every day.
Right.
And so I ain't saying today, but I was just throwing that at you like something that you can think about, and then whenever we talk about it, you've been done already processed.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I can do anytime.
Oh yeah. Cause that's easy for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, sometimes some of it because it's a lifestyle. It's a it has I guess it's really how I approach a lot of different things. It's not not just law, but it's kind of like the same methodology when I'm dealing with almost any subject. But with that, it is a little more, I would say, fine tuned or specific in reference to the particular information or laws or rules or procedure, etc., that you would use depending upon the situation. You know, but it's really the same. For me, it's like a lot of the a lot of the concepts and approach is something that I would deploy in other venues. I mean, warfare, or any other type of conflict, or I mean, business in a way, or darn near anything really. It's kind of how my mind works. I go straight to the first. I'll go straight to it, depending upon the subject matter or situation. I usually go straight to the heart of the issue.
Do you want to go ahead and make this a show? Cause I'm trying not to make it a show. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to talk with you and see what was all on your mind.
Conversation. I mean, we just conversating.
Okay. Cause like, well, the reason why I asked, cause I was finna ask. I already knew what you're talking about. But if I was gonna make it a show, the reason why I asked the question, cause I was gonna ask you to be specific. Like, be more like, cause you talking to people that haven't studied.
Right.
So like, if we were really doing the show, I'd be like, well, be a little bit more specific in what you're saying, so that people would actually be able to see it, visualize it.
Right.
Or,
I mean, if somebody, uh, I mean, I'm just trying to think of like a scenario outside of the law, outside of law, like, but it kind of would be similar because I guess it's still a situation where somebody's making a claim or accusation or launching an accusation or whatever, towards you. Like for instance, okay, just this is on another situation with my homeboy who had that problem or that incident that took place last year, uh, where a brother came and basically walked into his house with a AR-15, um, basically holding everybody in the house hostage because this one particular guy, or two particular guys, but one specifically, owed him some money because he helped him. He taught him some information about PPP loan, right?
Yeah.
And so the brother, used what he was taught and for his benefit, for other people's benefit, and I guess the brother didn't like like the fact that he was, you making money like he was making money.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he should get a piece of his money because he the one taught him how about the stuff, right? About the subject matter. And so anyway, so he decided this particular day out the blue that he was going to come over here. This is whatever issue he had between him and another dude who don't even live here. Process held everybody hostage, basically, threatening everybody, all this other stuff. And not to get into too much detail, but long story short, after quite some time of trying to defuse the situation, it was clear that the guy something was wrong with him. Either he was having some kind of mental issue, or he was definitely drunk. Well, not drunk, but drinking. And that this guy was going to acted like he was going to. He actually tried to shoot one guy, but the gun he had not loaded the gun or charged it or whatever. So eventually, man, my buddy was not able to defuse the situation, and gunfire rang out, and in the hail of bullets, his wife ends up getting shot, and so my friend, unfortunately, to his basically to his terror or horror, he had to basically defend himself and his wife, and the brother ended up passing away, basically. And yeah, there's been a lot of mess behind that.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that there's these guys who I guess was his friend or friends of his or acquaintances or whatnot. And recently they started calling up this one brother named, and just started, talking a bunch of crap, talking about just a bunch of nonsense, really. Yeah, you took him over there and this and that and got him killed and all this other stuff.
All right, so we ain't gotta get that far into the detail.
No, but it's a pertinent. Like, it's a reason why I'm bringing those details up. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
okay,
I understand what you're saying. Let's blot out the name and stuff like that, okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna blot that out, yeah.
It's a reason I'm going into these details.
Okay, go ahead then.
Okay, and so they start accusing this other young brother, which is ridiculous, of basically bringing him, taking him somewhere, and getting him, killed or whatever, which is totally, nonsensical. It didn't happen. And but the gentleman, one particular gentleman, said they were on Facebook and going back and forth texting each other on Facebook. This Facebook stuff. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Or no, but he says, yeah, man, you took so and so over there, man, got him killed, and then y'all went and stole that money, $80,000 out of his bag. I broke in his house, stole this $80,000 in his bag, and this and that. That's what happened. And so, okay, you got a lot of flurry, excuse me, of conversation between others that was around, that was witnesses, or that was involved, etc. And they spending all their time, I mean, they they were trying to defend themselves, saying, you know, well, man, no, he came over there tripping and all this other stuff, and they never dealt with what I felt was the glaring issue, what was really going on, the reality of what the whole conversation was about, of why the guy did what he did, said what he said, and everything. And to me, it was like so clear, and I couldn't believe that out of all these people, no one considered that. That instead they just jumped on the defensive and started defending themselves and stuff like that. And I was like, so, they was like, well, what you think, man? I was like, man, look, first and foremost, it's clear that this guy stole that money. And they're like, huh? Why you think that? I said, why do that? I said, because the subject matter had nothing to do with this money. The details of what happened aren't even anywhere close or possible for what his rendition of events to have taken place. It doesn't fit anyone who was there witnessing what happened, what they would say, what they would have told anyone else of what happened. And therefore, this is something that he made up himself. And my question, or what I would like to point out, is a person does not create an entire scenario that is absent of any facts, or even reason, really, or logic, unless that person has a motive. And two, the motive would obviously be discernible from the words, or for what the content of the person's statement. And he brought up, without any questioning or anybody asking or anything like that, some money, and in a specific amounts, in a specific place, hidden in a specific place, in a specific manner.
And they couldn't catch this shit.
No.
Damn.
They were too busy defending themselves.
Damn.
Their minds was clouded by trying to defend against such accusations, I guess. When, of course, and that's fine, but the clear defense to accusations such as this is to go straight to the heart of the matter, go straight to it and deal with it, right? And then, and so that's what my mind went to, and that's exactly what I did. It's like, this guy obviously took advantage of the situation. He's the only one who knew about this money, because I didn't hear nobody else see this. Did anybody, you guys see this? Or no, we were okay. Well, he's the only guy with the knowledge of this money. He's the only guy with the knowledge of where it was, how much it was, and everything. And he stated such in his statements. Therefore, the only one that we know for absolute certain had the wherewithal, the knowledge, and the opportunity to do that is him. And therefore, what he is doing is he is trying to create a scapegoat and save face, I guess, amongst their common friends, so that they don't look at him and start accusing him or suspecting him of breaking in the man's house and stealing his money. So he's trying to paint that on others, and he's using a convenient scapegoat. But he's making a mistake in that the logic of it doesn't make any sense, because no one here knew anything about that money, but he did though. Two, the people were in talks with the detectives and police into the wee hours of the next day about what happened. So how would they have had an opportunity that night to break into the man's house and take anything? And how would they know where it was? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. All the evidence points to that this guy did that, and he's trying to use these accusations to cloud or to throw up a smoke screen to hide what he had done. And so if I was y'all, instead of trying to prove yourself and this and that, I would simply point out those things, the obvious, if it ever came up. I best believe that if he ever came up to anybody or any y'all and brought this subject up, if you guys turn right back around and dealt with it in the way that I just presented it to you, I guarantee you he would run with his tail tucked between his legs. And so the reason I brought that up is obvious, because that is very much like, even with the pressures, very much like a legal action or a legal situation, to where you are being accused of something, you have to defend yourself in a courtroom. Well, my whole strategy is, before we even get to talking about the merits of any case that anybody brings against me, the first thing I want to know is, who in the hell are you? What is your interest in this? Are you a part of it? Your credentials, your authority. Where's your delegation of authority? I want to know, well, what type of venue? See, I'm going rather not going necessarily to the heart of the subject matter. I go to the heart of the process. Who are the players? What is the game? What are the rules of the game? I want you. This has to be known to me in order for me to be able to play this game with you. You're gonna have to answer some questions here.
And most people don't even know it's a game. Most people think it's some real shit.
Well, yeah, because games can be real. Like football or basketball.
Basketball, facts. People don't look at law as to be a game. Dealing with that courthouse and shit.
Right. And it's, I wouldn't even call it a court. Don't even know if I'm qualified. If it qualifies most of the time as a courthouse, but
I know it, right?
They certainly like to call it. The thing is that one should just simply don't give anything away. Okay, when you're dealing with a person attacking you, your assets or your freedom, you should not give them any ground whatsoever. They haven't demonstrated jurisdiction. They haven't demonstrated the nature of the issue at hand. The parties, true parties, they haven't even demonstrated who they are, what their authorities are. They don't do that. They don't do any of this. They just proceed as if it's a gift, and most people wave by their silence. I don't. You're gonna
Right.
dot every I, cross every T with me. So that's just one method or approach that I deploy. I mean, there's many others. It just depends on the circumstance. But I think I'm sorry.
Now you good. Let me I'm gonna I'm gonna send an email out to my boy. Hey, I'm gonna tell him to listen in on this conversation. Hey,
Okay.
you gotta meet Tat, man. Tat is like he called me his teacher, but he teaching his damn self. I'm just his guide. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just help guide him. He teaching himself. I just try to help you understand shit.
Yeah. But
There's different levels to understanding. Go ahead, bro.
yeah. But so you know, a lot of people, self-help people or people like they call jailhouse lawyers, but I probably exclude them. Um, these freemen and the sovereign citizens, sovereigns, and Moors, all these other people are trying to deal with this legal system. I think one of the mistakes that pretty much across the board everyone makes is that they seem to have this dream of this one size fits all, this one word or one phrase that's going to shut the whole case down. And,
Yeah, and it don't work like that.
What's
yeah,
going on, bro?
Hey, bro. Hey, so we have. I'm sorry, brother. Hold on. Hey, we having a show, bro, and we talking about discussing law, and I decided to hit you up so you can listen in on this shit.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
All right, go ahead, bro.
I think one of the mistakes that they make is again they are looking for this magic word, this magic phrase, this magic process or what have you that's going to shut the case down or that's going to get the judge to get up and run away and say or admit that yeah, you're right, we don't have jurisdiction or yeah, you're right, this is a foolish case or what have you, and that's not it's not going to work. There is no secret phrase or anything of that nature, as much as it is a method of proceeding which maximizes your chances at victory, right?
Facts.
And that's kind of like what I do. I'm not going to give 1 inch territory of ground without proof, evidence, or necessity. Okay, so again, before we talk about any merits of the case, I want to know who the hell are you?
And see, and that's where it starts at, cause it's like okay, like any man that come questioning you, it's like this nigga really like he must be God. Like, for who are you to question another man? Who are you to question me? I do what I do, you do what you do.
Right,
And so, like, so the first question, this how we set the ground is who are you? That's the first question need to be asked. But people are afraid to ask that question because they've been given the perception that this is the government and they tell you what to do.
right. And I mean, um, even if it was the government, if it is the government, right? Well, what does that mean? It's like, so, see, my mind immediately goes to the crux of the matter. Well, a government is a duly elected, a duly according to their customs and rules, regulations, and laws, or governing document uh, in positions of authority or power to exercise said authority granted to them by said process or document or whatever. Okay, and but that doesn't even matter to me. I mean, it matters only in that I would like to see your credentials, right? To make sure you are who you say you are. Don't they always ask us for identification?
They do.
The first thing out their mouth is ID, please. Where's your ID?
Yeah, they know.
Well, they have to have identification. They have to have documentation demonstrating that they are indeed a official agent or officer of that government department, okay, or agency. And so it's just basic stuff. If they want your ID because they want to know who they're dealing with. I want your credentials because I want to know who I'm dealing with.
That's right.
Same thing, no different. You know, and it doesn't matter if I'm dealing with a labor department or if I'm dealing with a court or I'm dealing with a Department of Driving Services or it doesn't matter. The IRS, it doesn't matter. It's a certain procedure that's automatic. Somebody come up to you and start launching accusations and telling you basically what you're going to do. Well, common sense dictates that before you get into anything they talking about, you need to know who the hell they are.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? It's like they tell you. See, it's the fear. It's the fear is why people don't question them. You know what I'm saying? It's like fear. Like you say, fear God. You should fear God. And anybody in their right damn mind know you shouldn't fear a motherfucker that you say you love or love easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it don't make no sense. So what God talking about? Fear them.
And not only that, but if I would have God have a need. See, that's why I try to point out to people, especially the religious folk, who are always talking about God, this God, and I always point out to them, you know, I find it fascinating that your God behaves just like a man. Why is that? I mean, he's angry, he's jealous, he's spiteful, he has regret, you know. I mean, he even goes overboard with it. I mean, he has a temper. I mean, damn, he told him, go in and smite everything, kill everything, the children and the livestock. I mean, you know, it's like the cows, you know, but man. And then where it says, that at times that God regretted his destruction of, you know, of the city or town. After, you know, well, there goes the claim of being omnipotent. You see, because, excuse me, he's obviously not all knowing, because if he was all knowing, first of all, I mean, wouldn't he have known ahead of time before all of that you know, he would regret? I mean, this is his own feelings. He don't even know his own feelings. Right. He would regret killing everybody who had nothing to do with what he was mad about. This sounds like a man to me. See? So, you know, and just like that's what I'm showing, I'm demonstrating. You know, people want to argue about the same way they want to argue about law, this and that and the other. They want to argue about various other subjects. It doesn't matter what the subject is. They should be approached basically in similar manner, and that is to deal with the heart, the crux of the matter directly, systematically and methodically. You know, without leaving anything if you can help it. And I get accused of being too detailed or long-winded or high-minded and all kind of other things.
That's all of us.
I confess, but I'm really not trying to do any of those things. The only thing I'm trying to do is do my due diligence. You know, and give myself and the other person the best opportunity to learn or to get something out of the experience. And so I'm going to lay it on the line and put it to the test. And I hope the person can say and let the chips fall where they may. Because for me, it's all about the growing. It's all about gaining more understanding than I had before. And so if I'm wrong about something, fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. You know, but we gonna see who right or who wrong. You ain't gonna squeak by. You ain't gonna do that. So,
Facts.
that's just how I think, I guess.
And the way and approaching it from that standpoint of making them prove who they is and that making them prove who they are. You know what I'm saying? That throws the burden of proof back on them. You know what I'm saying? Cause they quick to throw your ass, you guilty automatically. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
They're the ones with the burden of proof.
And so now you putting the burden of proof on them, like how it prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Prove it. And they don't want to prove it because
they really can't. That's why.
Yeah, true. They really can't. Cause it would collapse the system if everybody found out.
Because me, the way my mind works. First of all, if a person says, "Well, I have this document here. It's authenticated, certified, blah 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 blah." It says that I am the this that officer of this agency. I have this power and blah blah blah. And I'm going to say, "Oh, okay, that's okay. Let me check it out." And I'm going to look at it and read it. And then I'm going to say, "Okay, where are the rules and laws that govern your job description, the procedure that you must use?" Because did I just provided you the document? No, sir, you provided me documents, yes. Now I want to find out, are these documents in line with the laws that your office and you, sir, are subject to ensure that you are indeed in this office justly, rightfully, and lawfully. That's all. See, most people wouldn't even go there to step. They just, okay, you got paperwork. I don't care.
And see, when you say lawfully, that just threw a monkey wrench on his ass because they can't perform lawfully. They can only perform legally.
Exactly. See, that's why I tell people, you win before you go into court.
Mm-hmm.
You don't wait till you don't go in there to win. I mean, you don't go in there to win. You win before you go in.
That's right.
You see? And you win by them not winning, so to speak. They can't even do what they want to. You want to create as many pitfalls, potholes, and traps for them as you possibly can. It's like a landmine strategy. You see, I'm going to make it very dangerous for you to continue to proceed this case. Because I'm going to, one, attack every piece of evidence you try to put up there. Every accusation, everything you say, you're going to have to prove it. I want to see it. Including who you are, your blood type. No, I ain't going to go that far. But I mean, I'm talking about, I pile it on. I'm asking everything that I can. Now, don't get me wrong. I will bypass certain things simply out of tactical reasons, or out of convenience, or to set a trap. Because I do that a lot. I'm going to. So, and if somebody is interested in, well, what do I mean by setting a trap? Well, asking these people questions in itself is an automatic trap. And I don't care what they say, because whatever they say, I'm going to use it against them, just like they say to us.
Yep, just like they say to you.
And the problem they have is that they are liars and frauds, and they are in there misrepresenting, misconstruing the law or the authority. And all you have to do is allow them to tell enough lies and then begin to systematically unravel those lies in order to get them to go away. And if they say left, I'm going to go right. If they say right, I'm going to go left. I don't care what they say because I know it's a lie. Whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then you have, it's like using logic, right?
It is.
And methodically going from A to B to C and asking questions. So if they tell me, well, Mr. So-and-so, you're here being charged with possession of suspected narcotics, and the fine for this is going to be $10,000 and 5 years in prison. Well, excuse me. And keep in mind, this is if I just decided to play with them and not go through all this other arguments that I have, which I very rarely, I probably would never do that. But let's just say we got to this point, and I'm gonna say, well, wait a minute, hold on. Your Honor, I would like the court to take judicial notice that counsel has just stated that I am here for I am here for possession of suspected narcotics. I would like the court to instruct counsel to provide me with what statute they are using to charge me with such a crime, as I am unaware of suspected narcotics being illegal activity, punishable by imprisonment, fine, etc. So could counsel please show me a statute that outlaws possession of suspected narcotics? Because I could have some Cocoa Puffs in my pocket, and some dumb officer or someone else could think that those Cocoa Puffs is somehow a drug. That doesn't make them a drug, and it certainly doesn't make the activity of me having Cocoa Puffs illegal.
Correct.
And I'm going to wait and see what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I said, yeah, that's right. And this is like something I want to add too. Like, it's a matter of belief. It's like, can they get you to believe that they got this ability to do these things to you? If it's all about, if I can get you to believe this, that's why belief is such a strong word in this country. Everybody believing, don't nobody know a damn thing. It's about belief, huh?
I said in this world.
True indeed. You're right. In this world.
I got a question too.
Huh?
I got a question too.
What's up?
Damn. Cause y'all know about this lawsuit. I don't know about that lawsuit. I was just thinking.
Could you speak up a little bit for me, brother?
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, I don't know much about that lawsuit. Hold on. I was just thinking, bro, what if the whole purpose of what they're doing, the agenda behind it, is more meaningful than we think it is? And since y'all know about law, I wonder if we could just start our own organization, like start our own religion. And now, all you gotta do is pay the Vatican a certain percent.
Let me hold you for 1 second. I'm gonna answer that question like what you said.
Okay.
I think you think it's more meaningful than what it is.
Yeah.
All right, hold on, right there. So now I was talking about the belief, right? So it's all about a matter of belief, and we already know that they do magic.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other day, it dawned on me. I'm gonna do a show about this called. I'm gonna call it statues,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna talk about specifically how people have these idol gods, and they think they don't. And these idol gods that they worship are laws. They call statues.
Right.
The word statue is an idol.
Yep.
And I truly have come to the belief, now knowing that to set yourself free, you have to do it through law.
Yeah.
You have to go through their system.
Yeah. Even if that means creating your own organization. You know what I'm saying? They'll give it to you then, like you get your reparation, somewhat of a reparation then, bro, because you ain't trying to get the vast majority of the world to goddamn do it, because the world is overpopulated. You know what I'm saying? But if you start an organization, yeah, that shit'll work.
The world is only overpopulated if you want to have a small group of people with owning the majority of the world's wealth.
Right. That's it.
And then it's overpopulated.
Right.
Other than that, it's hard. It's nowhere near overpopulated.
Right. And you just said it right there, though. See, if we show everybody the dough to get the money, well, you know the reparation, blah, blah, blah. Let's use reparation, for example. Everybody know the process of getting the reparation, but as soon as everybody found out, the police went on a killing spree. Because just like you said, if you give everybody in the world at least a portion of something, then it's gonna be overpopulated. Right?
Right.
I'm just talking, y'all. I don't know about this shit.
Right. What I'm saying is that the only reason why it's being stated that it's overpopulated is because a small group of people, maybe a couple of thousand, own half of all the wealth in the world.
Right.
So the other 7 billion people own the other 50%. And so the reason why they say it's overpopulated is because they are controlling and hoarding half of all of the resources.
Yeah, they agree. Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, they know that means that there's a lot of poor and hungry people that's staring at their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, holding all of the wealth. So they got to get rid of these people so that they can be comfortable with all the stolen and ill-gotten goods.
Yeah.
So, but it's in truth, it is not overpopulated.
Yeah.
Because all we got to do is walk out our door. We live in the I live in the urban, so-called major city. And, I mean, I go outside, I don't see too many people.
I know it, right?
I mean, more room, a lot of plant life, a lot of woods, and a lot of areas that, you know, I mean, if it was overpopulated, I would think that I'd feel a little crowded.
Right.
You know, so it's not really overpopulated. They're talking about resources. When you hear that,
resources, yeah, that's what they're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have enough. There's not enough gold and silver and all of the good stuff, the good food left, because we poisoned the damn world. So
plastic.
You guys die off already, so we can live in bliss. You know. That's what they're talking about.
It's by the numbers, bro. They're going definitely by the numbers, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, it's like, but see, they feel like, and see, I would challenge the audience and the people listening to do some real soul searches with some of this stuff. A lot of people are always pointing out, talking about the Illuminati when they've never seen the Illuminati.
Thank you.
And the people they're accusing of claiming being an Illuminati are no such thing whatsoever, right? Most of them, anyway. And excuse me. Then we keep pointing out, saying how they're so wicked and evil and doing all these things. Never even consider our own role, the role we have played in this thing. consider that.
Yes.
You see, because from my point of view, in my perspective, the general populace has an ample amount of culpability when it comes to the state of the world. And while we're not in a meeting hall planning, you know, the next world order or how we're going to deal with nuclear waste and all these things, how we're going to cut down half the Amazon rainforest and whatnot, and build a bunch of furniture out of it. You know, though we are not making those decisions, we are the ones carrying out the acts.
Right.
So it's a little hard to, you know, hide your hand and fight foul. And in law, there's a concept, and it's a universal one. And it's really basically, you gotta understand that the law is based off of nature, relationships, and the divine laws. Okay? Whether we like it or not, even though it may be convoluted, polluted.
Hey, I hear something, bro. Hold on. What is I'm hearing in the background?
Where?
I don't know. What you doing over there?
I'm over here rolling up something.
That must be what I hear then. I hear something. Go ahead, brother. I apologize.
Heck, I forgot what I was. I'm trying to start now. I mean, I know we talk about the Illuminati and and we have all this culpability. I was talking about the law. That the law, the foundation of the law all around the world, is derived from customs, historical interactions between peoples, and divine law. And so there's this concept of clean hands doctrine. And it's a very powerful legal theory or concept, right? It can be applied outside of what we would consider a legal situation. It really should be applied universally, person to person, because I mean, it's very relevant. There's a lot of hypocrites in this world.
Yes, sir.
They get away with it because no one calls them out on the red carpet.
Narcissists with money.
You know, in a sense, what it says is that you cannot make a claim against another person, and you yourself, right, don't have clean hands, meaning you are a wrongdoer, or that you did something wrong in the interaction or in the transaction that is subject matter of a case, right? Or the same incident, or out of the same. Right?
Hold on, bro. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Hey. Are you holding your phone, bro?
Yeah, my phone. I got my phone in my hand. I hear that shit too, going in and out.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, what the hell is that?
It's getting worse though. I notice it's getting worse.
Yeah, it's like real static, like somebody messing with bags or like, you know what I'm saying? Paper or something like that.
Who the hell else is in on the damn show?
Well, you know they listen.
Yeah, they listen. Ain't nowhere around that shit no more.
They damn show right.
No, hell, it never was really.
It never was. It never was. Thank you. It wasn't.
I mean, I found that out. I mean, straightforwardly, like
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
so
Me too. Yeah.
I don't even care. I ain't even worried about it like that.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to make sure I'm doing a good job, so they know to leave me the hell alone.
Damn right.
Y'all know
bro.
that shit, right?
I'm
Damn
saying,
right. Damn right.
but you know, because people will talk about somebody else, and in the same sentence, a conversation, confess to being guilty of the same acts that they are lambasting the other person about.
Yep. Damn
You know,
sure to do it.
it's
I
always
just,
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, wait a minute, you're doing the same thing you're accusing. You know what I'm saying? So the King's doctrine is a good principle that I think everybody needs to like apply to every situation in this. And when they're being accused of something, or when they're accused of somebody else, you know, because I believe that problem with if I was to pick the number one plaguing humanity and the number one thing that can be done to create the most benefit to humanity, I would say that humanity's hypocrisy and inability to call themselves to task or make a correction when they are in error.
Mm-hmm.
That is the number biggest problem we have. And if we could change that, that would be one of the greatest things that humanity could ever do or achieve. It would be so beneficial. I mean, I can't even hardly contemplate the implications of it. But I think that the reason we have the system we have now is because we have failed in our duty as individuals and collectively as a society to be self-governed.
Yeah, to self-govern. You know, when we fell into the belief that we needed somebody else to damn tell us what to do,
it was a wrap right there.
We really went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was a wrap right there.
And we are the outlaws, actually. If you really,
right.
you know, look at it naturally, or if you want to look at it divinely, or however, we're the outlaws.
Unless we cloak ourselves with that organization shit, that government, unless we join them some way, somehow.
Well, even then, it doesn't do it. It's not going to do any good.
Yeah, you still a nigga, definitely.
Huh?
You still a nigga, yeah, definitely a rich nigga.
Well, hell, I'm grateful and thankful that I'm a nigga.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And they certainly know that I'm a nigga, but they hope that I don't know that I'm a nigga.
I know that's right.
You see what I'm saying? Europeans, and I know a lot of them, and I have lots of friends that are Europeans and other races, and I have for pretty much the whole of my life. And I can tell you one thing absolutely, that this should be absolutely clear to our people. We are the only dummies who don't know. We for real. We don't even know.
That's true.
Europeans, even the dumb ones, know who we are.
Exactly. They know the important part.
They may not articulate it to a great level, but they know.
They know, bro.
We talk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about this stuff. I talk more about my history, meaning our history, with Europeans than I do with my own people. I'm more comfortable.
Yeah, I do too, bro.
With them.
I do too.
You know, and they are more accepting than we are.
Yeah, they like it when a black person know about themselves.
Yeah.
They do.
Telling you all kind of stuff. You know.
They talk different then.
Treat you different than everything else.
Yep.
You know?
Everything go back to normal.
Exactly. Because knowledge is power. And it's funny that everybody knows that phrase, but very few people implement that.
That's true.
I know it, bro. Ain't that damn true?
You chase paper, you think you're doing something. Nobody chases knowledge anymore.
Nope.
And if you do, you crazy. Something wrong with you. That's how people look at you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna write you off.
They chasing knowledge on how to get more paper.
Yeah.
They ain't even doing that.
Say what now?
They don't even do that. Our people don't chase knowledge about nothing but ass and sports. Ass and sports. That's it.
That's right.
You know, they don't want no knowledge about a damn thing. You can lay it in front of them. They'll step on it. Step back, walk it, moonwalk over it. You know what I'm saying? You know, those of us who are keen or business have an entrepreneurial spirit need to start linking up and start doing some big things. I'm talking.
Yeah.
We love the low hanging fruit. I'm tired of.
Let's start an organization. Shit.
Well, yeah.
Let's start that, man. Start there.
Yeah. I mean, institutions.
That's right. They'll have to pay us then.
Well, we don't need them to pay us nothing.
You're right. In the world, we can unionize too. Come on. Hell yeah.
Pay for everything anyway. You see what I'm saying? They can't pay us. See, that's another thing. You know, calling things what they really are and not playing around with them. When I do this, or because I do this, people are always saying the same. Since I was a little kid, you using semantics. Are you trying to play with words? You know what I'm saying? Are you using word play? What the fuck do you think language and communications is? Really? And how am I? And I'm not playing any goddamn thing. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because especially on certain issues, you know, at least make a point of reciting it to yourself so that you remember, because repetition is the mother of learning.
It is now.
But when anybody tell me about getting paid, I always I throw it out there. And I'll just leave the little comment alone but I throw it out there. We're like, you never been paid a day in your life.
Thank you.
You never been paid anything. We better get with the program and start understanding what's really went down here. Now this kill off is going down. One of the reasons anyway, because they gotta pay. They gotta pay the beneficiary.
They damn sure do. And that's why they plan on getting rid of them.
Exactly. They don't already burnt up all the birth certificates.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so
them IOUs weighing out.
Yeah, and they got, but see, it's another set of books though with all the real money on it. All the real money. We pay hell. You see, that's the books they use to fund the government and all of these government projects and stuff like that. You know, but they keep it on some separate books because, you know, you can't be in debt. You got trillions of dollars. Quadrica, and Nico, and you know what I'm saying, Rob, and everybody, all these rich as hell. But think they poor. And that's because they think paper is money.
Yeah, exactly. That shit ain't nothing but wallpaper.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we keep giving away our estate. They keep giving us paper, monopoly money and shit.
I know it. Like damn McDonald's shit. We be having fake ass money.
Like, yeah. Talking about I own this house, this is my house. You don't own the goddamn thing. What are you talking about? Slave property cannot own property.
Sounding like a slave saying that shit.
Yeah, because you don't even know what's going on. Talking about you own the house. You know, I'll be laughing.
Yeah, I own. What that said?
You,
Shit.
you got a mortgage, man. How you
Hell
own?
yeah.
You own a debt. That's what you own.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in all truth, now
Got a lot of debt.
is actually you do own that house, plus a whole lot of other money attached to it. But that's a whole other different.
They ain't gonna let you get to that partner.
No, they certainly they don't like to. They don't like to.
They go gangster. They go gangster on you there, bro.
You gotta learn how to sidestep that gangster.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important to use their rules and procedures against them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard for you to. It's kind of hard
true.
for you to pay tariffs and all this other shit when all I'm doing is using your procedures.
That's the only way to beat them, though. You right.
Your rules. And don't get me wrong. I always, for the most part, if it's a serious enough situation, I make sure I introduce myself coming in the door. They know I'm the beneficiary, the heir of the estate. You can look at my documents whenever I enter a courtroom. My first filings is third party intervener. And I put in there that I am so and so. I am the heir of the estate, beneficiary of the trust. Who's the defendant? The trust is the defendant.
Mm-hmm.
And the trustee is the defendant. Where is he at? Because it ain't me. By the way, where's my money? I ain't got no checks lately. See, I make sure I do that. I set the tone before I go in that courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
I know what's going on. I'm not here to deal with none of your crap. I'm here to pay this shit. Where's the fucking paperwork so I can sign that motherfuckers? So y'all.
Yeah.
So
Dynamite.
Because that is why we are here, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not in here to play games with y'all. Bring me the bonds, the bid bond, the performance bond, the surety bond.
And see, the problem with people is that they don't know what's going on, and they need to begin to know what's going on because
They suffer.
The way things are going right now, yeah, they suffering, but they finna suffer even more because boy, they is cracking down with these new laws they putting in place.
That's why if we start an organization, it'll work out.
Suffer even more.
Those who join will have to learn.
How you gonna pass a law, right, that applies to me when, one, I have not granted you said authority to do so. Two, you don't even have authority to do so. Three, the government's been dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
Four, you never invited me to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care if you did. I didn't go.
That's true too. But still, like, nigga, how you gonna come up with some shit that govern me, but you never discussed it?
Yeah.
What part of rights? See, I would just ask these. Excuse me, Your Honor. What part of right do this court not understand?
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about a right of mine, and it cannot be taken away by this court, any legislature, anybody. What part of inalienable, God-given rights you don't understand?
Mm-hmm.
Did I authorize you to do that? No. Then go to hell. You may have force, but you don't have authority. It's a difference. I have the authority because I'm the author. How do you know? Who did you ask to sign that document? Me. I'm the authority when it comes to that document or any other document bearing my name and signature. And if my signature is not on it, I'm not a signatory. Shove it up your ass. Excuse my language.
Thank you. Goodbye.
I'm coming. You see, and I'm not. And keep in mind, I'm not. I don't mean to use all this profanity, but I'm just keeping it real and trying to keep it
That's
on
right.
the ground level, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but and to get my point across.
Yeah, you amped up on them now.
Yeah.
That's why we need an organization.
Now, you the king. You the king of amping, brother. You be amped up in that, boy.
Yeah, I do be.
Fire, boy. He be spitting fire.
Nigga, hell, like.
He was on your side. You incinerated him, man.
I don't even play around, man. I just know that part.
What happened? You won and you burned everybody in the city. Oh, okay.
I remember I did a live with that nigga, the first live he ever did. I fucked up. That nigga didn't even let the tape cut off. That nigga say, "You dumb motherfucker." That's why I'm taking these lives right now. Y'all niggas are stupid. Bro, I said, this nigga hell, bro. That nigga didn't know me from nothing, dog. That nigga just cussed us all out in that
I'm getting out now.
Hey, I don't see the man. Hey, man, the man don't went up in this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then after he done won, he go ahead and he's like, you know, schedule me a 12-round fight. It's like, wait.
You gotta respect the man.
Hey.
He know when to snap on your ass.
And like that scenario you talking about, like I told people in my podcast, like nigga, I'm talking from experience. I done fucked myself before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I learned the difference, you know what I'm saying?
After winning, you gotta.
Yeah, I had won it. Yeah, I had won it.
Ordinary fucking yourself. You know what I'm saying? You went in there and did your thing first. So fuck it.
Yeah. High priestess style.
You know what I'm saying? You showed and you proved, goddamn it.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
It was Aries in you. You couldn't believe the fight was over that quick. So you had to.
I knew it right.
That's better than money any day.
I knew it right. I thought they were gonna put up a real fight.
He like this it. That's it. You
that nigga be want more Tasmanian devil.
Hell no. To me, the judge and the prosecutor be the only one in the courtroom know what just went down. And everybody else confused. And then you got most of the dumb niggers, excuse me, who
And that's gossip. You guys be sure to hit that star button and that favorite button. You know what I'm saying? This year I will be dropping a lot of podcasts. So, and I will be getting into a lot of stuff this year. So go ahead and hit that star, that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the favorite, go on and subscribe so you can get ready for some of this content we're going to release this year. Thank you.